Greetings, I'm the Cheshire Human, not to be confused with my cat counterpart, and I come to you with knowledge from beyond. Recently, I've been alerted of a debate raging online about whether there are more doors or wheels in the world, and I am here to put an end to that debate. Stay tuned. I feel like the biggest issue in this debate is defining what a wheel is. Now, doors are pretty straightforward to define, but wheels are a little bit more trickier, such as, are those little pasta wheels you buy in the supermarket wheels? Those things make this debate very complicated to solve, but today I will solve this debate using the actual definition of wheels from at least 3 different dictionaries. Let's continue. This is a low quality image of a door, but it's still a door. More specifically, the handle of the door, and that is what I'm going to be exploring today. Yes, there's a house door going on. You know what my door handle looks like. Good for you. Now, let's continue. Now, I'm not an expert on doors, but there's at least 2 parts to a door. The twisty thingy, which turns when you turn the handle, and the rose, which it's connected to. Now, you may be wondering what this has to do with wheels and doors, but I'll get to that in a second. So, essentially, the rose is kind of a socket that the twisty thingy twists in. Now, the rose is a technical term, and I know that because I looked it up, but I'm too lazy to look up what the twisty thingy is called, so I'm calling it the twisty thingy. Now, let's continue. I know I've said let's continue for a while, but let's continue. The first thing that comes up when you search wheel definition on Google, is a definition from the Oxford Languages Dictionary, which is supposedly the dictionary that Google gets all their definitions from, so that's pretty cool. And I'm going to read that out loud to you right now. A wheel is defined as a circular object that revolves on an axle and is fixed below a vehicle or other object to enable it to move easily over the ground. Now, my issue with this definition is that it says it revolves on an axle, which kind of implies that if it's off an axle, then it stops being a wheel, which clearly that is not the case, and we can all agree with that, even if you're on Team Doors. So, I feel like this definition is kind of flawed, so let's look at another definition from another dictionary, because I don't trust Oxford. Alright, so now on Merriam-Webster, they define wheel as a circular frame of hard material that may be solid, partly solid, or spoked, and that is capable of turning on an axle. Now, I like this definition for 2 reasons. Reason number 1 is that it defines a wheel as something that is capable of turning on an axle. That means if it's off of an axle, it's still a wheel, which again, we can all agree on. The second reason I like this is that just below that definition, it says, a chiefly medieval instrument of torture designed for mutilating a victim. Oh yeah. Now, let us continue for the 54th time. Now we go to the Cambridge Dictionary. The Cambridge Dictionary defines the wheel as a circular object connected at the center to a bar used for making vehicles or parts of machines move. Now, like with the first definition, it says a circular object connected at the center to a bar, which again implies that if it's somehow off the bar, it's not a wheel, which, weird. But the reason I like this definition is that it says used for making vehicles or parts of machines move. That means if it's not attached to a car and it's attached to something else, it's still a wheel. And yes, I am picking and choosing parts from every definition, because I love confirmation bias. Now, you may be thinking, what does this have to do with a doorknob and its froze? You're jumping around like a Vsauce video, Cheshire Human, and you're right, I do watch a lot of Vsauce. But this all relates to a rose because of the definition of a wheel. You see, the rose is a part of machinery, which the Cambridge Dictionary defines as a wheel, and it's also capable of rotating on an axis, which I forget which dictionary defines as a wheel, and it can roll, so therefore it's a wheel. So therefore, for every door, there's a wheel, and there's even more wheels in the world. That's a lot of wheels. And that is my presentation on why there are more wheels than doors in the world. real quick, before you go, leave a dislike if you think I completely scammed and clickbaited you. And leave a like if you think that I definitively proved that wheels are more common in our world than doors. Also, this isn't taking into account alien civilizations who may be obsessed with wheels or doors. And it says in the world, like, does that mean Earth or the universe? Maybe aliens are obsessed with wheels on Earth, or maybe they're obsessed with wheels in another universe. My brain kind of hurts now, so, yeah, stay curious, because I don't trust Oxford.